I said, give me some Torah.
Put them hands up. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So
Hey, what's up, everybody? The Torah portion this week is Hukkat, and we're going to look at Numbers chapter 20, verse 18. After hitting the rock twice and getting himself banned from the land of Israel, Moses now has yet another problem to deal with. Israel has reached the border of the Edomite kingdom. Now, you may recall that the Edomites were our relatives, because Edom, also known as Esav, was Jacob's wayward brother in the book of Genesis. So Moses appeals to the Edomites' sense of compassion and tells their king all the horrible things that Israel had suffered. He also tells their king that Israel called out to God, who heard their voice and saved them. Moses then asks their king for permission to pass through the Edomite territory, presumably as a shortcut of some kind. He tells their king that they will not eat Edom's food or drink their water, that they'll merely pass through and be on their way. The king of Edom angrily refuses them permission to pass and says, "If you pass through my territory, I will meet you with the sword." Now, why is the king of Edom so adamant that the feet of Israel not touch his land? Well, according to a midrash quoted by Rashi, the Edomite king felt that the Israelites were being arrogant. The legend imagines their king saying, "You have spoken arrogantly, and you have spoken with the voice that your father gave you." This is a reference to Isaac, who gave away the blessing to Jacob, even though his voice was the voice of Jacob and not the voice of Esav, of Edom. The Midrash then envisions their king saying, "So I am going to attack you with the sword that my father gave me." This is a reference to Isaac's consolation blessing to Esav, or Edom, in which he said, "You shall live by the sword." In other words, the Edomite king refuses to let Israel pass through his land because Israel's ancestor, Jacob, cheated the Edomite king's ancestor, Esav. This midrash describes a big difference between the Jewish way of life, on the one hand, and the way that some other nations live, on the other. For us, guns and other weapons are tools, nothing more. They are not a way of life for us. If we need guns or swords for self-defense, then so be it. But we otherwise consider weapons to be either neutral or even a necessary evil, not a beautiful thing. Many nations are like Edom, however, and consider their weapons, their guns, their swords, their missiles to be things of beauty, even though their main purpose is to kill human beings. I know it's odd to quote Fear the Walking Dead when discussing Torah, but I'm going to do it anyway. In this week's episode, the character Sam poignantly says, "Something has to matter more than guns." Now that is a very Jewish statement. Something has to matter more than guns. Something has to matter more to us than raw power. Self-defense is our sacred right, to be sure, but survival itself has to have a purpose. For us Jews, the purpose of survival is the study of Torah and the observance of God's laws. And that's all for now. I'm Rabbi Eli Garfinkel of Temple Bethel in Somerset, New Jersey. Do check back soon for another episode of Gimme Some Torah.